Good morning, YouTube. Lucy and Tina here this morning on what is it, May the 12th today, Mother's Day weekend. And thank you for joining us this morning. Good morning, Lucy.
Good morning, good morning. And I think our first shout out ought to be to all the mothers out there and I want to make sure we include all of the mothers, the stepmothers, the aunts, the mothers who have lost, the mothers who are no longer with us, etc. Because sometimes you just say mothers and you think of, a new mom with small kids, but really it encompasses way more than that. I have several females in my life that are very motherly to me that do not have children of their own, but we want to make sure we appreciate them all.
Yes.
So, good morning. Good morning. Do you have any Mother's Day plans?
Yeah, I'm going to hang out with my mom and son around lunchtime, do a little lunch brunch kind of a thing. How about you?
I'm going to go see my son. We're going to go as a family, and we're going to a beach or somewhere where we can walk and hang out. So that will be fun. I'm excited. I like to see the ocean. That's why I live here.
My favorite place is the beach.
Yeah. I am. When we were looking at places to live, I said it's got to be within close distance to the ocean. That's where my heart is.
And here I live in the desert.
Yes. I always felt like the longing for the sea. So pretty exciting. It's nice to have a little bit of a weekend plan that doesn't involve work. I just feel like I've been drowning this year in all things Amazon, so it'll be nice to step out of it for a little bit. But what else do we got going? Man, we got a lot to go over for today's show. We've got a lot of things happening in the Amazon world we want to touch on. And boy, I almost feel like there's so much that goes on that we could literally go live every day and talk about just the changes. That's how fast this world changes in Amazon. So let's start out with, let me share my screen. We've got just some general, it's not super fun things. A lot of things with Amazon are not super fun. I hate to say it.
We do have some fun things too that we're going to talk about. It's not all doom and gloom. We got a lot of fun things.
It's not doom and gloom. Just Amazon's policies are like, man, if you want to take a nap, go read Amazon policies. They will put you right to sleep, and we will try not to put you to sleep today.
And good morning, Nate and Armand. I see you there in the chat. Yes. Good morning, guys.
So I got an email this week, so I imagine everybody did. Sometimes they roll out emails, and they'll roll out 10,000 every day until it all gets done. So if you don't get it, you'll probably get it, or maybe it's not applicable to you yet. But first one was an email about the Inform Act. And for those that don't know, that are maybe new to the game, the courts were fighting for the longest time over whether the seller's information was covered under privacy or not, and they wound up saying no, we cannot be private, which has its pros and cons. When we're talking about a whole bunch of out of country sellers and or branding, etc., sometimes having the information is great, because I know some customers, they do not want to support certain countries, certain businesses. And the downfall, though, is that your information is out there, and that is scary in this day and age, because it seems like everybody gets hacked. My son and I, we were having a big not argument, but we were talking about things, and he said, I wish social media platforms were held more accountable when they leak and they get hacked, etc. And I said, I think we all would like that a little bit more. I think that sometimes when these companies get hacked, maybe it is their fault, maybe it isn't their fault, but as a consumer, I've had my information lost by my medical companies, Home Depot, Target, big box stores, and of course the social media platforms. And it feels like the companies just get kind of like a little slap on the wrist, and it's disheartening. So anyhow, back to the Inform Customers Act. I'm going to put the link in the chat, and you can go read the fine print if you want. But basically, this is what it makes. You need to have your information available to to the peoples out there. And that's where you have your store name and you've got your address and everything on there. And it says here, who is it applicable? It applies to third-party sellers who continuously sell 12-month period or the previous 24, have sold 200 or more products, and have had 5,000 or more in revenue. So this is the heart. It all ties in together, right? This is the heart of the verification process that we're all going through right now. So if you haven't been asked to re-verify your information, it all ties in. This is what Amazon is being their feet to the fire on, making sure that they verify sellers, and they're cracking down on that. So you have to go through that verification process. There's been a lot of great threads out there on, if I have this banking information and this name information, can I do this and that, and how to go through it. Tina, and did you go through it already?
No, they haven't got to me yet. They've got a lot to go through. I don't know if it's in alphabetical order or, in which manner they're doing it by, but I have not gotten my re-verification yet, because I'm certain they will get to all of us before the year is up.
Yeah, I've heard some theories on that it was sales based and or when you've last verified based. So maybe I've hit, I haven't been verified in 8 years, so I was due.
Verified like 3 years ago, but it was through a case I was fighting. It wasn't that they necessarily asked for it, but I did do the photo ID and the banking statement, so I did do a verification, and I don't even recall what case I was fighting. So maybe they consider that I re-verified at that time. I don't know. We never know what Amazon thinks.
Yeah. Trying to figure out what Amazon thinks is like trying to get a book on how to understand women. It's just not going to work. So somebody also asked on the channel comments about addresses. I have 3 addresses, at least 3, that are associated with my Amazon seller account. I have my public PO box. That is when you find me out, it's going to go to a PO box, which is great because guess what? I got a cease and desist from Crocs, and it goes there, and the date was March 23rd, and it said I had 48 hours to comply, and I just picked it up this week. So I'm like, well, yeah, I think my 48 hours are up. So my Veros go there, Voras, Veros, whatever, both Voras and Veros. Veros are different than Voros. Voros is the company. Veros is, I can't remember what the acronym stands for, but anyhow, all of those go to there, so I don't have to see them, which is awesome. I don't really like seeing them. And then customer FBM returns will go there. So merchant returns will go to my PO box. And then I also have my home address associated and this new warehouse address associated. So you can have multiple addresses associated in your account. Don't ask me which one is which. I would have to Google it. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's like your business address, your tax address, your business display name. I want to say it's the display name is what's displayed out there. We like what we are seeing with seller board. Yeah, we're going to get to that too, Nate. So I'm excited.
Yeah, in fact, I have exciting news with that. I reached out to Seller Board. First, I didn't think they were going to come on the show because I've been after them for a while, as we've been learning Seller Board and how to navigate it and all of its uses and features, because there's more to it than meets the eye. And I got Seller Board to agree to come live on our show next Friday. So we are having Seller Board here.
I got them to agree. She held them down and beat them to a pulp.
Well, look, I really wanted them to come on and school us all, so I was pretty persistent in keeping that communication going, like the nagging kid that's nagging on their mom's skirt tail for a candy bar.
I nag people all day long. Speaking of that, yeah, I forgot to mention to you this morning that one order that we're waiting on that has been forever, they are looking at it again because it went out. Okay. Irritating. This one, I have no idea what's going on with this. They said we now have a new dashboard because, of course, we need another friggin' dashboard in our life. I need a dashboard for my dashboards. That's what I really do need because I've got dashboards upon dashboards upon dashboards. And that's why I have 80,000 tabs open all the time, is because I have so many dashboards. But we now have one that's the seller benefit. And I have no idea what all this is about. I just brought mine up. So I have like lending available, and I have FBA storage fee of $139. I have free removals and free returns. So I'm going to have to click on these later and figure out what in the what is going on here. Hey, Kimmy. Kimmy is, if you guys aren't following her Facebook group, you should follow her Facebook group too. I don't know if you can, I don't think you can drop a link, Miss Kimmy, but if you can get it to me, I'll pop it in so that people can join your Facebook group. So I have no idea what this program is. I just got this one, I think, in the last 24 hours. So I have not poked around with that. Did you get that email? Have you clicked on it?
If I got it, it was this morning, and I haven't checked that. So
Yeah,
I maybe haven't got it yet. It may be about that program that I shared in our bundles group that I did a video on, I don't know, a couple months ago that you signed up for. It could be in regards to that. I'm not sure.
I have no idea. We got a question, which, as always, put your questions here. We will dig them up as best we can. Is there a difference between Aura and Be Cool? Been using Be Cool for a while and have considered switching. What's y'all's thoughts? Oh my gosh, that is a can of worms. I have heard everything from Profit Protector Pro is the best, to Aura is the best, to Be Cool is the best, to the best thing is to switch your repricer every 2 months. And I'm like, that's too much work for me. I can't
Yeah.
switch it up. But there's one person, I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was Nate from Hustle Buddies, but don't quote me on that. Somebody said that the act of switching it up drives things too. So I have no idea. I think those are all just wives' tale, kind of like if you what was it? We used to tell the kids that if you put ice cubes down the toilet at night, it would snow and you'd get a snow day for school. I think it has no bearing. I don't know. I toss up there. I don't know if anybody's done any real statistical stuff. And that's what makes Amazon hard, is because we make changes and then sometimes you can't really see, did those changes result in whatnot, or was it a market
Or was
change?
it coincidence? Yeah.
Was it coincidence? Was it something else? It's hard to tell. I like Be Cool. I think for the price point, my general understanding is that people say that you get just as good of a product and it's cheaper than Aura. And some people say it's more user-friendly, the UI. I don't know. What have you heard?
The same as you. I've heard the same as you, and I have had Be Cool for so many years. I mean, years. I don't know, 7 years, 6 years. It's been a long time, and I've gone with their upgrades as they've gone along. I tried a repricer before Be Cool, but it was so many years ago. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember, is it around? I don't know. So I can only speak upon Be Cool.
My first one and only other one besides Be Cool was Channel Max, and I did not like it. So that's all I got to say about that. I could rant, and if we're ever at a bar or whatnot and having drinks, these topics that I don't talk about, you're free to ask me. I just don't want to. I have certain policies that I don't go on air and talk poorly about things, but I will be upfront, and I did not care for it for many reasons, and leave it at that. So I'm trying to be nice about that. All right. Next thing up, I wanted to bring this all to y'all's attention. There is a small business grant going on, right? I have no idea.
I did get this email. Yeah, this one I got.
My husband gave me this one. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I clicked on it. I don't remember. But, let me add. I don't know the stuff on it, but go ahead, open it up. And if it applies to you, then apply. I mean, grants are great. I have gotten
That's right.
a few in the past, mostly through working with the PTA and stuff. We did several grants and things for the school and nonprofits. But hey, apply, can't hurt. There was, let's see here, you had to do who's eligible. Existing Amazon business customers, check. Business must be self-owned by a U.S. resident, 18 or older, check. Have an annual revenue of less than $1 million, unfortunately, check. One entry per business account, completed application in full and reviewed the terms and conditions. Well, I don't know. So there's one grand prize, 4 finalists, and 10 semifinalists, and you have to do it by May 21st. So
There's also a grant for eBay. I
The,
mentioned it last week. I think I posted it in the Facebook group, and this grant goes every year where 10 people get, I forgot the dollar amount now off the top of my head, and they do it every year. So you can look up and apply for that grant for eBay. And with the eBay one, I'm not sure if it's also with the Amazon one, but definitely with the eBay one, you get assigned for a whole year a business coach. So if you feel inclined to do so, apply for those grants. You never know. Use ChatGPT to help you write a good grant letter.
yes, I'm really loving that. And I network with other resellers, but I have made it a point. One of my goals, side goals that I don't talk about too much, was to network more locally. So I am networking both in the college that I'm in and with the city that I'm in. And I've joined their business, whatever email for the thing. And within that, they actually have get-togethers for businesses, for entrepreneurs, for people that need coaching or just other people to bounce ideas from. And so I've gotten those, and I haven't pulled the trigger on actually showing up for anything yet. But in terms of the small business stuff, I am signed up for a talk about accounting after this live today. So, starting to get involved and getting networked with those types of things. It's fun.
Contact your local chamber of commerce, and there's a lot of free resources out there.
Yes. So even if you don't get a grant, it's good to network and get exposed to that kind of stuff. I feel like we're often isolated in this little island.
Mm-hmm.
Had a question on the channel about, does my air pillow machine, one, how it fills the air pillows, and two, if it will do bubble wrap. It will do bubble wrap, and these are all available in my store. I'll put that link down below. I have not bought the bubble wrap yet, and that is because I love American Bubble Boy. American Bubble Boy has a new set. It's 3 giant rolls. It's 1,050 feet for $40, I want to say. And absolutely love theirs. And when I priced it out, the 984 feet for $55, I get something like 50 more feet, and it's delivered, and I don't have to blow it up. So I have not done that, but does it do it? Yes. And then somebody asked about the air pillow, that the air pillows are not being filled up fully. No, they're not. They're supposed to be soft. You don't want like a full pillow. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you blow up a balloon all the way to maximum just before it pops, you wouldn't want to use that to have your stuff be hitting against. The same principle is with the air pillows. So next up, we've got this one. This one's you.
Yes, this one I've told many people about it. This website is also an app on your phone, and it's boxfox.co, not com. I have been using them for many years. I don't know if I've ever shared their site on a live show or not, but if you are a seller that just has dead stock that you cannot get rid of, and this is new inventory, brand new items, so a dead Amazon inventory that you've tried getting rid of on Mercari or Poshmark or eBay or whatever, and just aren't ready to donate it to the Goodwill, try BoxFox out. They are an auction website. I've been using them for many, many years, and you can mix and match inventory together. So it doesn't all have to be the same. So like, for instance, back when I was selling Costco clothing, I would have like all those random leftovers, one-offs, a skirt 3 different tops, maybe all XXLs and pants, and it would just be a mixture of things. You can sell lots of stuff like that are a variety pack, or you can sell 25 or 100 of one item. It doesn't matter. You will scan your items into a spreadsheet, you will upload it, and it will be put up for auction. The beauty of it is, and this is where a lot of people are not sure, but the beauty of it is that when you get your final bid on your lot, you choose whether you accept it or not. So let's say it doesn't meet your minimum threshold that you were wanting to get, you do not have to accept that final bid. So it's not like an eBay thing where maybe your final bid was $1 and now you're stuck giving it away for $1. Additionally, you will know what your take on it's going to be. The math is already done there for you. It tells you exactly what you are going to get. And the person who bid on your lot and bought your lot, they pay for the shipping. Now, of course, you have to enter in the weight and dimensions of your box and send it to the customer, and they pay for the shipping, not you. And once your customer receives the items, they have 3 days in which to open up a case to say, hey, I didn't get everything that was supposed to be in it, or whatever. And after that 3 days has passed, BoxFox issues you your payment electronically. And you can also, on the flip, buy on BoxFox. So you can look for lots. Some of them are very reasonable, always lots of shoes, higher end shoes. Some of these are not Amazon resellers getting rid of their inventory. Some of these are actual stores and companies that just have overstock they're getting rid of. So it is a great website to find inventory that you want to sell on Poshmark or eBay.
So you would put all your stuff together. So it makes sense if you're a shoe seller to put all your shoes together, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, it can be all one style. It can be all black Nikes, all size 7, 100 of them. It can be black Nike, blue Adidas, green Crocs that you now can't sell, all random sizes. You can put your lot together however you want to, but you want it to make sense, right? So you want it to be either like all shoes or all clothes or all toys, or a single SKU, a single item. If there is a match to it on Amazon, BoxFox gives you that Amazon link to see what the going rate is on Amazon. They'll even give you the rank. So it is a really just cool website. I can vouch for them because I've used them. I'm not an affiliate with them. I don't even think they offer affiliates. I just simply wanted to share it.
Neat. What's that new? There's a new auction site. It's like what's new. I have a friend who's doing it, but I can't remember what it's called. But it's a new auction site, and all it is for auctions, and a lot of eBay people are doing it. Do you know what I'm talking
Whatnot.
about?
I think it's called Whatnot.
Whatnot. Yeah.
It's an app. Yeah, I've got the app because I wanted to check it out, and it looks like people do video of sorts. They're showing on their videos like, oh, today, I have this, and I haven't tried it. I haven't tried Whatnot, but it seems kind of fun. It seems like a great way to get rid of dead inventory, or it seems to be a great way just to sell inventory, maybe things that would be profitable, but after eBay fees. It wouldn't be really worth your time to sell it. But on Whatnot, I don't know what their commissions are. I think it's far less than eBay. So I know that some YouTubers I've watched that are eBay sellers will really focus on when they're out shopping. Oh, they find Disney Mickey Mouse things that they don't think will be great for eBay, but they say, but it will be great for Whatnot because I planned on doing a Disney themed show. So on their Disney themed show, they could have a variety of Disney items like toys and kids' bed sheets. And
so they're just auctioning off the one item at a time. It's not a lot.
Right. It's a one item at a time, but they're doing a show like, and I have this, and I have this, and I have this. Okay. Yeah. Now, how the sellers end up paying and or canceling orders, since I haven't done it, I can't speak upon the whole process of it. But we can certainly have someone on our show that has done that if anyone is interested, or if we are interested in learning more about it.
I like listening to all things about all things. I watched what was the guy that Reno linked yesterday? Richie Hustles, right?
Yeah, he's got a big YouTube presence. Yes.
Yeah, I watched his Dollar Tree video from yesterday, which was he's got he definitely likes to tell you how it is there, which you can relate to if you've ever shopped there for sure. Anyhow, it was interesting to see how he scans. So I like seeing how other people do and what their take is, because we've got so many new things. I mean, Whatnot has been up for what, like 2 months, 3 months, maybe less than
I don't
six for
even
sure.
know. Yeah. But it's very
So
popular with eBay sellers.
yeah, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I really think both eBay and Amazon, as we grow and develop here, like eBay's system is really antiquated. It's old. It needs to be updated. They need a refresh on everything with eBay. And I know they've been through a couple CEOs there. And then even Amazon, I'm having trouble with some of their back end. I feel like whatever computer parts they use to support Amazon needs to be beefed up as well. They just have too many things on there, especially now that they're integrating all the advertising and the video content, and it's just too much for their system. And then you wanted to speak about I cannot put this one up. Costco 99.
You can't pull it up?
No, I
Oh,
can pull it up. I cannot show it because it integrated with all my cookies, and now it's
okay.
got all of
Yeah,
my
I can pull
listings.
it. Yeah, I'm happy to share that.
Oh, Armand says it's been around for a little more than a year. Well, I've only heard about it. It looked at all my cookies and it brought up everything that I've been sourcing for the last couple of weeks into the web page. So that is not good, but I can share the link for sure.
So this is Costco 97. I'm not sure if anyone has ever heard of this website. I had heard about it years ago, but I had forgot about Costco 97. So this is a website where they share with you the items at Costco that are about to go on clearance or are currently on clearance. I don't know why that just won't go away. So when Costco, I can't remember how it is, but once Costco, their price goes to like this, like $6.97, that means these things are on their way to being clearanced out. When it ends in the 97 cents, you can watch some YouTubers that shop Costco and Targets. You can see Pinterest blogs on it, how the pricing is when it ends. Like in this case, the 0.97. It's like code for when items are about to be clearance down. Home Depot also has them. So this is just their opening page on things that are going down. So they have a start here guide. They do deals by location. So you can go to this tab and plug in your state and see what's going on in your state. Since, whoops, a lot of pop-ups, isn't there? All right,
Mm-hmm.
we'll allow you if you'll just leave me alone.
Yeah,
Okay,
they
let's,
had to ad block them and everything. It was bleh,
all right,
bleh.
so here is Nevada, and you can share a deal now. Look, it still won't go away. So you can share a deal, and these are people in Nevada, and these are just regular shoppers like me that are saying what I found, how much the original price was, what it is now. This is old because it's from September. The newest one, good grief, the newest
I
one was these instant pots.
I have a few
Um,
Facebook groups that kind of do the same. They share whatever, they share the clearance deals going on.
Yeah, but this Costco 97 site has been around for years. I learned about it several years ago from another reseller friend who lives here in my city. And she had said, "Oh, I found out about the deal on Costco 97. You mean you've never heard of that website?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "Oh, yeah." She goes, "I check it at least every month." She goes, "And then I run up to Costco to see if I can find any of those clearance deals." And that's how she was finding things to source on Amazon, was checking those Costco markdowns.
Interesting. Well, it's always, I mean,
Yeah.
always good. Good morning, Casey. Good morning, Mega. How are you guys doing? She asked Kapori, how to pack popcorn chips bundle for FBA. Should I sell via FBM? I love putting them in a box, and I love FBA. Let me tell you, chips and popcorn is an untapped. If you are scared of sending that stuff up, that's fine. I love coming in there and putting it in a box and shipping it off because it's usually got plenty of margins to account for a 50 cent to $1 box. It can be some really good stuff, especially chips that have what do you call it, like special flavors. I don't do the everyday. I don't do the everyday stuff, but what was it? Pringles has come out with some weird flavors. Same with cookies, Oreos, and things like that. I'll put that in a box too.
Yeah,
So
anything that can get crumbled like that,
yeah,
where bubble wrap just is not enough. Because if it's in bubble wrap and I can still do this to it.
yeah. Casey says gluten-free chips too. Yeah, gluten-free chips, pickled flavored anything if you can find pickle flavor stuff.
And I did want to mention today that Rakuten has 50, they've been having for a few days now, that they are offering 15% cash back at a lot of stores. I think there's 50 stores that are currently offering 15% cash back. So I'm a big fan of Rakuten, but I also use Top Cash Back quite a bit and Retail Me Not, because sometimes there's a big difference between the sites. But right now, you cannot beat this 15% cash back deal that they're doing it, and it ends on Mother's Day. So if you source at any of these stores on a regular or have replens at these stores, definitely go through and see the 50 sites that are offering the 15% cash back. There's some really good ones on here. So I encourage you all to check that out if you did not know about this.
Zappos can be good. Looking at some of the things. Zappos, Nike, Adidas, all good stores,
Yep.
especially if you do. I was surprised Zappos has Disney or licensed blankets and sheets and stuff. And I was like,
Well, doesn't Amazon own Zappos?
yeah, they bought them back in the day, a long
Mm-hmm.
time ago. They bought
Yeah.
them. I can't remember for how much, but it was a big deal back then.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some other questions, and go ahead and ask your questions. We've got to end the show today promptly at 9 o'clock, but if you have any questions, ask them now so we can make sure we get to them. Not at 9:58. Or I mean 8:58. A lot of people like to chime in at the last minute. So somebody said they have an interview on Amazon Chime. They tried and couldn't connect. Waited for more than 3 hours. That is not good. I have no idea. I apologize. I cannot help you there. I have never done the video thingy with Amazon, so I cannot tell you other than you got to make a case and just be persistent. One of the things a rep told me a long time ago is that with anything you get on your account, whether it's verification, IP complaints, paperwork complaints, issues with anything, if you ignore them, then that is worse than if they see that you have cases trying to solve. They want to see that you are trying to work with them and trying to solve the problem. So that goes a long way in your account history if there's any issues going forward. Just like when my mom's account got hacked, I made sure to call and make a flag on my account that my mother's account was hacked, and I want to make sure that my account, that can be sometimes associated through IP address when I visit her, etc., does not get flagged. And they said, okay, now that it's in there, I can reference that later going on. So I've made them aware of it. Are you? Oh, I added. Sorry, wasn't I supposed to add?
Oh, yeah, not yet. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I
Well,
was
they were
just trying to
asking.
find, yeah, somebody asked a question, so I was trying to find what they're looking for.
Well, I have it.
Oh, okay.
I can add it.
I found it already too.
Okay, go ahead and share yours. I put it in the group. Add your screen.
Oh, yep. So, let's see. Present, share screen. I was just trying to find it. So, if you guys, I know some people ask, like just asked was in the chat of how do you find our bundles group? We're on Gumroad if you've ever gone on the Gumroad site. and we use the name Ecom Guild for, see here, Ecom Guild. And so anything that we offer is under the name Ecom Guild here in Gumroad. Sometimes it's hard to find us when you search for bundles because there are some other people, but this is what our ad looks like and how you can add it to your cart and purchase the bundles course. It's where we also offer our VA list and Bolo group, and that's where you can sign up for those services. I know, I don't think we ever share that. We just end up giving the link, but that's actually how you find us.
Well, I have the links on all my videos.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I'm getting feedback on your mic.
Hmm.
Don't know what happened. All right. So we got a couple other questions here. Is it okay to store suits and jackets folded up? If you do a lot of eBay, you may be tempted to fold suits and jackets. I have always been told, no, you don't want to. You want to have some sort of hanging with them, and more so put some protected over it, a clear plastic bag of some sort to protect it from the dust, and also to use hangers that have more shoulder oomph so that you don't get, especially like women's sweaters, men's jackets, things like that. You want to make sure you have good hangers. The IKEA hangers are what typical eBay people go and get, to my knowledge. There might be others out there, but I used to go to the IKEA and get it. Somebody says we have not been able to get the API to work from Inventory Lab to Seller Central. Do you know why and what we can do? This was 2 days ago. As far as I know, the API feed is now working between Amazon and Inventory Lab. However, the box size and weight is not flowing through correctly. So you may have it box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and when you go to print out labels, it's 4, 3, 2, 5, 1. So what I've been doing is on the boxes, when I weigh them, I write the weight, and then I go print out my packing list, and then I print out the labels, and I go, okay, this weight is 32 pounds. That's this box, and I'm going to match it up with the correct paperwork and label. They are working on fixing this, but that's where I'm at with it. Have you noticed that, Tina? What have you been experiencing?
I thought about it the other day when we had printed out 4 boxes. I thought, oh, I got to remember to check my labels, and I didn't. I just put them on the boxes. However, however, I had 4 big boxes go out, and Amazon, my shipments got divided. So one box was a shipment by itself. So the label couldn't be wrong, right? Same with the other one. It was a shipment all by itself. The other 2 boxes could have possibly been flipped flopped, but I do always write my weights on the box. So I should have checked.
Yeah, I know I probably have sent out 1 or 2 before I noticed that there was an error.
I do want to follow up from last week for those of you who watched us last week when I mentioned about my inventory that we thought we mislabeled these 2 items. I had 2 ASINs. This big shipment was literally these 2 ASINs. And Amazon had given me a shipment, when your shipment is wrong and they ding you on it, because they said that I sent in basically the flipped flopped amounts. And they said I had 100 of one, 75 of the other, but they said that I sent it in this way. So then I went looking at my invoice, and my invoice was correct. I did have 100 of this and 75 of this. And so I submitted that invoice to say, no, this is exactly what I sent in, because I sent it this entire invoice of stuff in this shipment. They denied my case and said that they were in the right and I was in the wrong. Then I ended up getting about 3 customer returns for item not as described because they had ordered this and had got this. So I'm like, oh crap, did we in fact mislabel our items? Did we put the wrong FNSKU sticker on them? I thought, how is that possible with just 2 items? How could we have done this? So I pulled all the inventory, pulled it all, and everything was coming back correctly labeled. We had in fact labeled it correctly until we started getting, as the packages keep coming in, because Amazon doesn't send it all at once. You get 5,000 envelopes and boxes. Then we had items coming back where Amazon decided to relabel our items. So our label was on it, and Amazon put their little label over it. Amazon switched my inventory. Amazon did it. They restickered my inventory that was stickered correctly. So they're the ones that caused all of it. They are the ones that mislabeled it. I didn't ask them to label my inventory. Don't know why they did it. So I don't even know how to begin to fight this case, or I probably won't even win it.
Yeah, I talk about this now, but it was very sore at the time. I had some My Little Pony issues, and it was either Shepherd or something. I can't remember who it was, but I had the cases of My Little Ponies go to Amazon, and I paid Amazon to label them. And Amazon labeled them all incorrectly. When you opened up the My Little Ponies, you got like 2 Starlights and 1 apple and 1 something else.
Right.
There was 3 different kinds. And in a case pack of 4, there was 2 of one and 2 of the other. Anyhow, Amazon just labeled them whatever. And I got all sorts of customer issues complaining that they were sent the wrong ones. And I could not win that. And I could not win getting them relabeled. So I had to recall them all, relabel them all myself, and send them all back in. And it was awful. And I went round and round and round with seller support, and they would not do anything. I said, I paid you guys to label them, and you physically labeled it wrong. They're like, well, show us pictures. So I showed them pictures, and they're like, well, we can't help that. Like, what?
I know.
Yeah.
And see, I don't pay to have Amazon label on my items. I label my items. So I don't know why they took it upon themselves to relabel them. I just don't even know why, but it happened.
Yeah, it's that's pretty awful. I got hit for this week's Seller. What do I use? Seller Bench. No, yeah, Seller Bench, which is like Seller Locker. In fact, now they're both owned by 3 Colts, which owns TA. Anyhow, I had 3 invoices I had to flag them down for because I had so many things not, oh, we can't find this item. No.
I've got a lot of that going on with my shipments. It has been bad. I don't know if anybody else out there is also having very slow check-in times. I sent in items 3 weeks ago that are still not active in my inventory. Still. And it's been 3 weeks. And this has been an increasing issue I've been personally having with Amazon. And then, like Lucy mentioned, I use Seller Locker. When you say yours, I always get mine mixed too. So I use Seller Locker. That's who we had on the show. And my VA from Seller Locker just sent me 2 different shipments that they're needing invoices are on inventory. Amazon says they didn't receive. So I went looking into these 2 shipments last night, and it is a big amount. It's like they are showing that they only received half of the inventory I sent in this box. It's just gross negligent on Amazon's part in their receiving warehouses. And so now I'm going to have to pull up all of these random invoices and hope that we can win, because now a lot of times Amazon is denying these invoices, as they denied my shipment being incorrect when my invoice exactly matched what I said I sent in. So things that used to be easy to win are increasingly getting more difficult. And if Amazon says they didn't get it, well, then they didn't get it, invoice or not.
Yeah, they're being very difficult. I don't know if it's a staffing issue at the place. I remember, I think it wasn't Brittany. Who's the other lady that starts with a B? We met her, Brandy. There we go. Get the brain working. Brandy mentioned something about fees increasing for shipment weights, and I have noticed a little bit of an increase in the shipment fees, but I also noticed I used to ship to California, and the last couple of shipments are going to Virginia, which of course cost a lot more too, so that's irritating. Miscounting by 1 or 2 items. Absolutely, Mike. That is terrible.
Yeah. Or I get the empty boxes. Like they said, they received the box, but there was nothing in it. Damaged products from customer FBA. If customer returns I'm guessing the A Center item, and it was defective, is not qualified. Wait, read that.
Damaged products from customer FBA. If customer return ASIN was defective, not qualified for reimbursement. Is that correct? I don't know. I'd have to look that one up. I don't pay too much attention to my reimbursements because there's not a whole lot you can do about them.
Yeah, because I think they're saying if the customer returned it as defective and if they
It gets
returned it as
damaged
being
out.
defective, yeah, you should get reimbursed if they returned it defective. Yeah. And Nate, I know you live in the same city as me, so I don't know if it's just us because I'm guessing a lot of your shipments also go to our Henderson warehouse as well. And lots of miscounts. Yeah, it's gotten bad on a lot of my shipments. Just the slowness of it, the claiming that items are missing, and I've always had that from the beginning of time, but not with such regularity as I do currently.
I think the Facebook user up here was asking that if the customer got an FBA item and they classified it as it was defective,
Right.
then do they get reimbursed for that return? And yeah, that's different than the customer damaged. If a customer damaged it, then you definitely get reimbursed. And that reimbursement calculation is different based on price and category and reason and everything. They have a magic formula that's ridiculous. But if
And Michelle is saying that they don't reimburse for customer damage.
yes, that's what so if okay, I'm getting there's like three different things we're talking about. And now I've got the feedback loop on your audio, so I don't know how to fix that. All right. If a customer receives their item and says this was defective and they send it back to Amazon, Amazon takes it, classifies it as defective, and then based on your return settings, will send it back to you, or it gets back to me. I take those and go, nope, and send it right back in. I don't get reimbursed for anything. In fact, I'm out the shipping costs. So whatever I paid to ship it and all of that, you're out. You might be out the entire price. If the customer gets this cup and they're like, yeah, I don't like it, and they send it back to Amazon and they send it back and Amazon goes, oh, the customer damaged that, there are some reimbursement scenarios that you might get reimbursed for. It just kind of depends how they blame or how they take it. Any which way, your returns and reimbursements mine are like 3% of my sales. You just eat it. Okay. We could sit here and hammer on which one's which. And it's like a magic. I got to mute you, honey. I can't take the feedback loop. It's really hard to talk. It's just really difficult to sit here and be like, okay, I sent it in and then I didn't send it in. And then in this scenario, and then in that scenario, you could make like a whole tree. It's ridiculous. Go read the policy. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it never works out for the seller. So just don't count on getting reimbursed for things. And that will be better for your business and better for your head. I unmuted you.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying anything. I don't know why it's doing that to you on your end, and I'm sorry. But no, I didn't have anything else to add. I agree with you.
Well, I put in there, Mike says, agree, Michelle, I never got reimbursed for FBA damage returns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the reimbursals.
It's hard. It's hard. It just really is.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, yeah, you get reimbursements, except for if you actually sell stuff in the stuff category for the stuff for a customer. And you're like, well, what is like outside of that? There are 3 new warehouses here, 4 not online yet. It is the new employees. Maybe. Yeah. They have so many new employees all the time. All right. I got like 2 more questions. So again, chime in if you got any questions. Somebody asked, how do they do their scanner? How do you install your scanner? Scanners are super easy. I really just plugged mine in and it kind of worked. So it's kind of like plugging in a keyboard. Your computer knows, and it knows when it's working that it's supposed to be entered into that field. So there really isn't a whole lot. If you do need to install, then you go to the manufacturer of said scanner and look it up, because it's going to be different for everything. Just like Dymos are different than Rollos, that are different than Canons, that are different than Brothers. you just got to go to that company website and make sure you have the right drivers and follow the install guidelines. The other question that was on here is, how do you use Inventory Lab with Be Cool? So I thought this would be great. We can talk about that and Seller Board, which I wanted to say, I use Seller Bench for returns. You use Seller Locker for that. We both signed up for Seller Board, and they will be on Friday, which is different than, what is SaaS? Seller Amp. And I use Rev Seller, not Seller Amp. So you get so confused with all the software. Like, my gosh, we could have a bingo with different software names. They need to come up with some new names. So,
And I do want to mention in the chat, I put a link to it. It is a referral link of mine for Seller Board. They did give me, and I don't know how long this is going to last. They gave me, if you sign up for Seller Board, if you've haven't tried it, you get 2 months for free to try it out. And look, you don't often get 2 months to try something. So, I mean, what do you have to lose? Even if you don't continue after 2 months, that's 2 months of getting to play around with Seller Board. So I did drop the link in the chat. So if you've never tried it, give it a try. 2 months.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we're having them on next week. So, I mean, it is perfect timing to go ahead and get it installed, get your inventory synced up. And then when we have them on next week, they're going to, give us a tutorial of sorts. And then for the seasoned users of it, you may then have questions that are past, the beginners, that will be a great opportunity to get to ask them.
Yes. Facebook user, we'll answer this real quick. Hazmat, if you want to increase your storage, you need to ask. Open a case and ask, or you need to get your velocity moving faster. So those are the only two ways. If you can't get it automatic organically, then you need to request, open up a case and ask. So Inventory Lab works with Be Cool, and the way I use it, and this is going to be different for everybody, I put Inventory Lab is my main source, my true source of where things filter out to. And Inventory Lab, I track my cost of goods. That's pretty much the only thing I really use Inventory Lab is to track my cost of goods when I'm talking about all the Amazon things and business things. You can use it for more, but that's what I use it for. My cost of goods go over to Be Cool. And in Be Cool, I do my minimum and maximums over there. So I do not put my min and max in Inventory Lab. I do not put my min and max in Amazon. You can do for either. Now for Seller Board, what I've been doing for my cost of goods is I go to Inventory Lab. I export my FBA products. Ones that don't have a price in Seller Board, I'm going to take that. I'm going to put it over into Seller Board. And I'm using Seller Board. Again, you can use it for lots more things, but I am using it for tracking, for velocity. It integrates with my advertising so I can see what the true profit of an item is and where my advertising is going. And that's what I wanted Seller Board for. Now, for tracking my business expenses, I use QuickBooks that uses A to X that links in with Amazon and pulls all the transactions over to QuickBooks. Can you use Seller Board and Inventory Lab for business for more than what I do? Absolutely. They've got a lot of great integrations. Casey was telling me that on Seller Board, if you put in that you pay $100 a month for Be Cool, it will filter that out and track that into your stats and your business stats, which is really cool. I don't need to do that because I pull my reports to QuickBook. So lots of integration stuff. I'm absolutely loving Seller Board. I probably should have done it when my friend Heather told me to get it, and I didn't.
I do want to say
like
something else. What I've been using on Seller Board for as well is you can set up alerts in there. And one of the alerts that I have found quite useful is if a product title or main image has changed, they alert you to that. Now, for newer sellers on Amazon, you won't have experienced this. For older Amazon sellers, you remember when our listings would change that we were on, whether we created them or not. We used to get an email saying that ASIN such and such, the image has changed, and that alerted us to when basically hijackers took over and changed the whole product. Well, they did away with that several years ago with Seller What are we talking about again? Our free pro, the one you get, Seller Board. So with Seller Board, you can get those alerts. Seller Board alerts you. So I like that feature, and you can set up to get notifications through email or what have you. And then the other feature I love is when the fees have increased or decreased. So sometimes somebody now has changed the weight and dimensions on a listing. And so now maybe the Amazon fees went from $5 to $11. And if you already have it set up and Be Cool and everything in your repricer, you could be losing money and not have caught it yet until it's too late. So at least with Seller Board, you can take a quick look at that and see, is that something I need to open a case and fight? Or are these now new updated fees correct? And I have to change my pricing format, especially in Be Cool.
Yes, so we got a couple of comments going on here that I want to make sure we share before we get off of here. Casey says she loves Seller Amp. Thinks Scout X does the same thing. Yes, Scout X is the new one from Inventory Lab, and we did not highlight it today. We should have. But the new Scout X from Inventory Lab is absolutely amazing. I think you did last week, or we did somewhere. And I will be switching over to that from Reb Seller at the end of the year. But
I even made a YouTube video on using it.
Nate loves the alert. And then we've got from P132. How on earth do you get the min-max transfer from Inventory Lab to Be Cool? Keep getting format not supported. I've tried to import Excel and text. Is there more to it? When you are making your items in Inventory Lab, you need to set the batch to capture min and max first. So make sure that setting on Inventory Lab is correct. And then over in Be Cool, when you import, you need to make sure that you're selecting that you're going to import the min and max as well. So I'm not quite sure why you would do an Excel or a text, but you just make sure the settings on both are there and it imports it. So at least that's to my knowledge. Things have changed since, because I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah, so Myra, we're going to have them on next Friday. Yes. Next Friday, they're going to be on the show.
Yep. And then Nate says seller count drop alert. Interesting. That's a good one. That could
or even on the rise, because if you are a bundle lister, if you are a private label seller, if nobody should be on your listing but you want to get that alert that, hey, someone is now on your listing. I had somebody hijack one of my listings not long ago. And when I say hijack, they didn't really hijack it. They just jumped on my listing. And by them doing so, they were not selling the correct item. And I started getting bad reviews on my listing saying I ordered this, but this seller cheated me. I didn't get, item X with it. And they had been on my listing for a month and I didn't even realize it. Now with having Seller Board, I can get an alert that, these particular listings now has 2 sellers on it, so that it can help you catch it sooner.
Just typed in your question to Google, which is how I find out 90% of my life. It says when entering your min-max while listing, once the batch is closed, you can go over to list, close batches, click the batch name you would like to export, and then export button and choose Be Cool. So there is a quick export button as well. But go Google. I mean, there's like 50 videos on how to do that as well. I don't use it for that, so it's hard. I have not done it in, gosh, probably 3, 4, maybe 5 years. I haven't done it, and things have changed so much since that. All right. Well, I'm super excited about Seller Board next week. I did go back and forth just with their customer service this week. When you send things in, the one thing that I don't like so far, the only thing that I don't like so far is, let's say I sent in 50 coffee mugs. It takes that shipping cost and it puts it on for that day. So I looked at one of my products that's it's like a $15 item, and I was negative $100. And I'm like, whoa. How could I sell something for $15 and lose $100? Well, it's because I just sent in oodles and oodles. So they said that's just how it goes. It goes on that day. Now you can go into your settings and say, don't track my inbound inventory shipping charges. So I can toggle it off if I don't want to see that, but it just goes to all that product on the one day you ship it. So It's a little concerning. I was like, wow, I don't want to lose $100 on this item. And other than that, I'm really loving all of the alerts. I like the integration into the advertising. That has been really helpful and insightful. It made me redo all of my advertising campaigns, which I will be doing a video on that shortly, where for our bundle group, that's where we kind of dive deep into those things on how to set up your advertising for organization and getting it optimized, because those are just really in-depth types of talks that are not quite beginner. They're not beginner friendly. So, do you have anything? Do you advertise retail arbitrage products? I advertise everything. There's not a product that is in my only products that I can't advertise are like books and things that are, you can't advertise books or sexual wellness. So anything that's ineligible for advertising, you can't do. All right, Miss Tina, what do you got going on for this weekend? You said you were going to go see your son and do brunch. That's awesome.
Yep. We'll do son and my mom, the three of us. And as far as today goes, as soon as we hang up here, I am going to be running over. Sorry, I'm getting a call, and I'm going to be running over to Walmart because I got a return. I got inventory to return. It was inventory I bought online, had it shipped to me, and by the time it came to me, Amazon had deactivated that listing on Amazon. It's got the dog there. It's the listing is no more. So luckily, I only had 8 units to return.
Ugh. I hate it when they do that. That is so,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I had one that they did a GTIN thingy to me, and I had just sent in 41 units. So I had to wait for all 41 units to go and then get to dinner and then hit my stranded and then recall them. I'm like, oh, it's like friggin' 2 weeks of waiting.
Yeah.
But finally got that issued. Their returns have been ridiculous. You know, getting something returned, it's like it either comes the next day or it's 3 weeks out at least.
Yeah.
So no idea. All right, well, I'm making listings today and doing sales tax. I have to redo all of my sales tax that I submitted, and I'm utterly torn up about that. So I'm highly irritated about it. I hate redoing work. I don't mind doing work, but when you've already done it and you got to do it again, that's where I'm like, I've already done that. So I'm going to blast some good music or something here, try and put myself in a good mood and knock out some data entry. Not fun times, but it's Friday. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. And I hope everybody here has a great day, and definitely spoil any of those mother figures in your life out there this weekend. They all deserve it.
Yep. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channels if you haven't already. I always forget to say that.
Yeah.
And have a great weekend, everybody.
Yes. Have a great weekend. Take care.